wise man once said, the will to win, the desire to succeed,
what takes guts is to put yourself on the line.
the urge to reach your full potential.
A leader makes the way.
These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success Resources is the world's leading events promoter of business, personal development, and wealth creation programs. For over 30 years, we've helped over 10 million people across 30 countries unlock their full potential. From North America, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, to Oceania, we are the key to your personal success. We open the door to the world's best speakers, such as Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and T. Harv Eker, to name a few. Praised by Donald Trump for being the world's best, we have over 500 events a year and access to the greatest thinkers, achievers, and motivators of our time. We guide you to the success that lies in every one of us.
But you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone.
You have to have confidence in yourself.
We have never really truly reached our destination. There's always another level to strive for. Your best is yet to come. Success Resources, your learning partners.
Wow, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Welcome back to Bitcoin Journey to 100,000. So what's next for Bitcoin? Things are looking much better today than yesterday. So let's discuss what's going on, what's happening to the market, and what are we going to do about it. Now, we believe that Bitcoin is an amazing tool to create wealth, not only for ourselves, but for our whole family and generation. Now, secret to success is to wake up early, work hard, and own Bitcoin. Welcome to Bitcoin Journey to 100,000. My name is Richard Tam from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. We make videos tracking the incredible journey of Bitcoin to 100,000. Now, if this journey excites you and you like to follow, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button, and also the notification bell so that whenever we run a video, you are the first to know. I like to bring my friend, my teacher, and someone with a very big heart, tough teacher to this program. He's an authority in financial investing and also well-known teachers and coach to many thousands of students all over the world. Welcome, Dr. Clemen.
Wow, Richard, thank you for having me. So excited to be back once again. We are at the midweek on the grind, and we just went through a major confirmation hearing last night for Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. I think we got lots of share and cover today. Yes, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. I went to wash my glasses and then it got started. Now, today Bitcoin price is much better shape at 42,000, right? Roughly about 42,000. Then yesterday it went below 40,000. I know, the fear and greed index was really bad yesterday, but today it went up to 23, which is still an extreme fear. Now, Dr. Clemen, question to you is, why do you think the price suddenly went up, from below 30 now to 40, below 40 now to 42,000?
Yes, that's really fascinating. What happened last night was this. Let's check this out. This was the major movement that kind of moved up from 41 to 42,000, $43,000 range. All right. So we want to identify this is the point in time where Fed Chairman Jerome Powell was going through the confirmation hearing, and he was really grilled, very, very tough questions. I sat throughout the hearing, and at this moment in time, it's kind of a flip over, right? We started like really low at 40,000 and right now pump up to 42, 43. Now, if I zoom out to a 1 day, and this is the whole duration of what happened this week itself. We went to a low of 39,650. For those of you who got it at 39999, congratulations. I don't think you're going to ever get it again. And that's the reason why you just touch like a whisker of a little hair right here. It is just a little tiny whisker. Bong, you got it. Congratulations, all right? And right now it's floating back to 42. Now, what is the basis for that? Very simple. We have a major hearing last night, a kind of span from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Singapore time. And Fed chairman says that rate hikes, tighter policy will be needed to control inflation. And you know, the biggest takeaway, Richard, for me was this. He mentioned 3 very critical data points. Number 1, he will end, and he believes Fed will end the asset purchases in March this year. We're stepping into a period of spring 2022, and that's the moment defined as March. Now, what happens when you end asset purchases in March, meaning to say the natural prices, demand and supply must take over. And he believes that right now we have sufficient momentum for the law of demand and supply to take over without the Fed interfering with the asset purchases. Number 2, he believes that Fed will raise interest rates over the course of the year. Now, he's non-committal. How many rate hikes there will be this year, even though the pundits or the analysts are all screaming for 4 rate hikes in 2022. He's non-committal on that. But more importantly, I take away from this confirmation hearing that we have a very brilliant chairman. He is going to derive his decision based on the data points. And he emphasized this a few times. We have to look at the available data, employment data, the situation for Omicron, and then make our decision. So he's non-committal on that. Very, very good. Number 3, he believes that the Fed will allow the balance sheet to run off later in this part of the year. Now, these are the 3 only left remaining secret weapons that the Fed, within its almighty power, can do to influence the entire economy. So when you take this into regard and we say, hey, how does that translate into the stock market? And how does that translate into the crypto market? So I'm going to pull out some charts right here. And the first chart, we're going to show all of our audience, how does that straight away impact onto the stock market? All right, so here we go. This is the Dow Jones Index, which represents the barometer of the entire stock market. So we have a major movement up here, boom, straight off the roof, and we delivered a green candle for the closing bell. And, you know, we were like trading like crazy on the day before yesterday, that was on Monday, when there was like everybody was just doom and gloomy, and we are kind of faced with the triple threats from the Fed. And worse still, you have the analysts coming out with a prediction of 4 rate hikes for 2022. So Monday was all red candle. Tuesday was last night, turned green. And this turnaround kind of prepare all of us for the days coming ahead. Really, really important. I think this is the biggest takeaway. And more importantly, one of them actually grilled Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, asking him about what is your stand right now on stablecoin, on digital currency. You're supposed to release a paper, and that was way delayed. And guess what is the response from Fed Chair? He said this, the paper is ready to go live. We are just assembling a few more things and it's ready to go live. And I take that as a signal. Today we are on 12th of January. If you say that you're ready to go live with the paper, we are about, a few more data points to clean up. I take it as 2 weeks. And 12th of January, take it as 2 weeks. I'm still aiming at my 1464, right? Which is really important. The 1 represents the 1st of February, the upcoming Bitcoin spot ETF. I think that dream is still viable, is still valid. And that's the reason why you coincide with his publication on his views on stablecoin as well as digital currency. So this is really, really big. And more importantly, in the world of cryptocurrency for Bitcoin, Bitcoin straight away reacted with a surge to 43,000, as what I shown you on the candlestick chart just now. But then among the crypto traders, they say, hey, the real pain is due for the altcoins. Now, I was asked several times, Richard, about my view on Ethereum. And for those of you not involved in the blockchain, let me tell you how painful it is to withdraw, transfer, send your coins through the Ethereum blockchain. The gas fees right now have risen up astronomically high that it becomes unsustainable for Ethereum blockchain. So we are all kind of shaking our heads when we want to move our coins across Ethereum. It is too expensive right now. That's the reason why I believe it's the first trigger. We're going to have a hammering on the altcoins, all right? And for those of you involved in altcoins, just be very, very careful. I think the safer haven, or what we define as a safe haven, if you want to really trade on other blockchains like Binance Smart Chain or the Polygon network, or any other altcoins that you're thinking about, my recommendation to you is to think about DeFi, decentralized finance, where you can stake your coins, you can do liquidity pool, farm your coins, and earn the interest, of which your primary coin don't lose in value. I think this is important. Right now, it's a game for the long haul. Preserve your coins, all right? So I go over right here and kind of, a few points were raised about the fear and greed index, which we covered on Monday video. And of course, as I come down right here, this is like, holy moly, the big statement here, it goes this way: the pain, or the real pain, is yet to come. Now, that's for altcoins, but we are still very, very positive on Bitcoin. And that's the reason why, for Bitcoin, I'm going to bring back my chart right here. I zoom out right here, and we are making a projection of a 1464, and thereby giving everybody a clarity what we can really, really look forward to, all right? So today, we kind of still float around that 43,000 range. Very, very clear sight, because everybody is waiting for the major approval of the Bitcoin spot ETF. First one coming up 1st of February, second one coming up 6th of February, and thereby giving us the 1 right here and the 6 right there. And then the 4 in the middle, kind of being capsized by the 2, is actually the first day of the Beijing Winter Olympics. Now, as we all know right now, Tianjin is infected. Oh my gosh, it's so near to Beijing. It is going on an all-out war to clamp down on Omicron spread within mainland China. How bad it is? Seriously bad. We have a TV anchor based in Beijing, reporting live on CNBC, and she said this: it was so bad that people couldn't go out to buy any food. It is a complete lockdown. I don't know what the other words to use. It's a complete lockdown. You are not allowed to leave your house at all. And as a result, there were kind of skirmishes. People are getting really, really upset, pissed off. Lockdown for too long because of the zero virus risk policy. Beijing doesn't allow a single infection. And when you go to the extreme end, everybody will be pushed to their edges. So this is what's happening right now. But because of the bigger agenda, Beijing is due to host an international world-class event as the Beijing Winter Olympics. And on that day, they're going to launch their very own digital yuan. And thereby bringing us to the last guy right here, the 4, which is the month of April. And so we got really quite a number of trigger points to look at. And that kind of coincide with what Fed Chairman mentioned yesterday. Asset purchases will probably stop in the month of March in preparation for the month of April. And April will be Q2 of the earnings season. So in a nutshell, we remain optimistic about journey to 100,000. And of course, every one of you viewing at our live stream or the recorded video, please always remember, whenever you want to get into cryptocurrency or any form of investment, there are 3 things you must absolutely do damn well before you pull the trigger. Number 1, what data are you actually looking at? Number one, what data are you actually looking at? And I kind of work with thousands of students worldwide and realize, oh my gosh, most people just skim through the surface level data. They don't go in depth. They don't drill down. They don't grind it. They don't connect the dots. They just look at one headline, that's it. That's their so-called data. Absolutely crap. When I say data, it must be an ability to connect different data points, triangulate, and then you form your thesis. Number one, data. Number two, are you educated enough? And education is key. That's the role of Richard and myself. We are right here to educate you. But the problem is this. In the process of educating you, the audience or the public, there are certain steps that we cannot do for you, which you have to do for yourself. For example, if I were to ask you to open a savings account with a local bank, now I cannot hold your hand and handhold you, walk into the bank, at the bank counter, fill up your name, address, age, telephone number, and your identity number. I can't do that. You have to do that on your own. You have to face the bank receptionist, fill out the paper, sign a signature with the banker looking at your hands, putting the ink on the paper. There are certain steps in the process of education which the student or you have to do on your own. And we can't complete that for you. So ask yourself, am I educated enough that I'm able to execute all these teachings that is passed on to me, and I execute it on my own? And finally, the third very, very important ingredient is you must be part of a community, not just any community. And I've seen many communities out there, from WhatsApp group, Facebook group, Reddit group, bulletin board. Oh my gosh, so many out there. But the problem is this. Most people in the community, they already got no idea what to do. It's like the blind leading the blind. You need to have leadership in the community. Leadership, setting a culture. What is the objective of the community? If a community is, there are many communities out there. Case in point, for example, there are communities out there that behave like agony. You go there, cry, need a shoulder to cry on, grumble, pour your grievances, pour your sorrows, and everybody say, yeah, I'm with you, amen. There are communities reserved for that purpose. Now then there are other communities out there, everything just talk about nothing but negative stuff. Oh, the government is bad, the policy is bad, vax is bad, everything is bad. But they love to look at things that are bad. So there's a community out there. Now, when I talk about a community, I'm defining it as a winning community. Because you guys by now know the journey to 100,000 is not an easy path. The road ahead is not straight. It's going to be winding, going to be ups and downs. There's going to be turmoil. You're going to go through the shadow of the valley of death. And if you don't have a winning community with a winning positive mindset that constantly grew down to what is positive today, what is profitable today, then you're going to go to the dark side very easily. You will sway. And once you sway, you cannot deviate from your original intent. Why do you want to buy Bitcoin? So to sum up this part, which Richard innocently started with the first question, and I still have not concluded answering his first question, and that is this. If we say to you, why do you buy Bitcoin? Because my answer is we buy never to sell in the first place, and never sell at a loss. So you can effectively never lose if you don't sell. And if you stretch your time frame to your current generation, and you think about passing on to your next generation, your children, or to your grandchildren, you're going to enjoy this ride really happily. You will not be depressed. You will not be bitching about the people around you. You will not be a negative naysayer. You'll be so happy throughout the journey because you enlarge your time frame. This is what I want to encourage you to do, because everything that we said over here is going to go down the drain if you don't put into practice. So thank you very much, Richard, for the question. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Thank you, Dr. Clemen, for this positive note and positive reason. Now, in this community, we track the Bitcoin journey to 100,000. We do our best to do research for facts and data from the market and present to you. With the facts and data, you can make an informed decision for your own financial future. Now, the dormant flow chart shows now buying signal for Bitcoin. Okay, it shows that this only happened 6 times in the history of Bitcoin, and one of those 6 times is right now. So, Dr. Clemen, can you please explain to us what is dormancy flow chart?
Yes,
the Twitter author posts that this is the buying signal.
I mean, this is very, very good research from you, Richard, that you are able to kind of drill down out of the many indicators out there for Bitcoin. We arrive at the dormancy flow indicator. Let's take a look at this tweet that's coming from Elias Zusu, tweeted on January 12th, and kind of, received many, many retweets. It is an indicator that, people are following this idea behind the dormancy flow. So typically how I look at an indicator is impact or the key opinion leader, KOL, all right? So clearly we are not alone, and more people looking at this, it simply becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, all right? So let's dive in right now and understand the entity adjusted dormancy flow indicator. Here we go. Right over here, the one that is in the yellow, this is the indicator, all right? The one that is in the yellow, this is the indicator called the dormancy flow indicator, all right? So, as I draw like this, you will experience there are 6 times where you hit an all-time low. All-time low being defined as touching below $1 or less, all right? So I remove my line right there and I redraw it. So I'll just kind of draw like a rectangular box right here in this highlighted green region, all right? Now, that's the moment in time that orange indicator step into my red box, which is defined as $1 or less, and then it forms a very powerful signal. What signal is that? It is called a buy signal, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 times historically it hit a buy signal, and then we observe what happened to the price of Bitcoin. Here we go. Hit the buy signal. Now I'm following the price of Bitcoin, which is the black line. Price of Bitcoin went up. That's the first time. The second time it hits less than $1 for the dormancy indicator, price of Bitcoin hit an all-time high right there. The third time it hits again, price of Bitcoin went up. 1, 2, 3. Fourth time, right over there, price of Bitcoin went up. And the fifth time, price of Bitcoin went up right over there. All right. So we kind of correlate, say, oh, wow, this is like mama, the holy grail, man. 5 times, 5 out of 5, this is a sniper rate. So today, where are we? We are very fortunate today. Richard highlighted to us, hey, we better look at today, because today we are right here. The indicator shows that we have just entered below the $1 mark. And could this possibly be the 6th consecutive time the indicator will be proven correct? Now, if that is true, then the price of today, 42,500, will be our benchmark price, or we call it the floor price. And I believe from this point onwards, it should go up according to the entity adjusted dormancy flow. And this is the backdrop of this indicator. So of course, my friends, I want to encourage all of you, go out there and educate yourself. And while you're doing that, always satisfy 3 criteria. Number 1, whatever indicator, whatever data point, are there sufficient people looking at it, believing in it, so that you can achieve what we call the self-fulfilling prophecy? This is number 1. Number 2, yes, once I'm satisfied, sufficiently people are looking at it and sufficient can be 100, 1,000, depends on which community, on which network you're looking at. Then we go on to number 2. Can you explain in your own simple, normal human being word to a child what an indicator is all about? Just like what I've done with you, all of you guys right now on the dormancy entity flow indicator. Because if you cannot explain to a child, then this indicator is rubbish. Because you have not gotten in-depth understanding of how the indicator works. You are just looking at the price prediction without understanding the substance of the prediction. Then forever you will lead a very miserable life, because everybody will tell you certain prediction, but you don't understand the logic behind it. Now, once you satisfy these two, first, sufficiently people look at it, becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. Second, you can explain it to a child. Then the third point is, put your money on the table. Never sit on the fence. I mean, you can go through all the analysis, but you sit on the fence is a bloody waste of time. It's bullshit. You don't believe enough to put money on the table. That's it. So what we do as a practitioner is, I've done sufficiently thinking, formulated my thesis, I'm able to articulate to my community and say, okay, let's take a move right now. That's it. But the worst thing of, if you take a move, you pull the trigger, taken the plunge, and your step 1 and step 2 is not strong enough. Step 1, what data, what indicator are you really looking at? Step 2, can you even explain it? Now, if you cannot even explain it, by the time you go to step 3 to pull the trigger, let me tell you what will happen. Half of the time you're miserable, or most of the time, because you got frustrated. Do I really believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy of the data? That I couldn't even explain it to my children or to my spouse or to my family or to my colleague? You'll be so miserable. And then you start asking very negative, self-fulfilling, losing questions. Why did I get into this in the first place? So if that's the journey of yours today, I challenge you, cut it away. Once and for all, cut it off. Start afresh, reset, and join a winning community. And that's why we are called Bitcoin Journey to 100,000. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, last week or last video, you talk about the base price, right? And you say have a wonderful number so that you can own the number. I hope I remember our friend from Panama, Thomas and Tony William, was asking and was checking what is the base price on this. I hope he made some money, and also yes. Maybe Ivan the Zuzer. I hope you have bought the Bitcoin at 39990. So if you are making money, we want to congratulate you. Now, Dr. Clemen, there's a billionaire investor by the name of Bill Miller, and there's an article here about him being interviewed that he put 50% of all his net worth in Bitcoin. So question to you is this, can you tell us who this Bill Miller is, and is it credible or not? If a billionaire is investing in Bitcoin, what do you think we should do? Should we just cut the chase and model them? Is there any merit in following this so-called in following billionaire? After all, billionaire is more successful than 100 billionaire, and who own 100 billion, and 100 billion is more successful than those that own 10 billion, and those who own 10 billion is more successful than those that own a billion, who is a billionaire. So a billionaire certainly is more successful than those who are not a billionaire. So if a billionaire invests in Bitcoin, what do you think we should do?
Wow, this is
any merit in following people who are successful?
Yes, Richard, it's so fascinating. You know, this trend was actually started by Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. And he's on the extreme. He say, all in, all that I have, boom, everything goes into Bitcoin. And he walks his talk which is the point tree I just checked previously. You've done all your analysis, you communicated all that you want to say, but you've never pulled a trigger, you are just a bullshit. So Michael Saylor took lead by example. And here we go, because of him, the first guy who set the first example, right now we kickstart an entire domino effect among the richest millionaires and the billionaires on planet Earth. Now, of course, the highest tier, we are talking about billionaire, and if we are talking about trillionaire, right now, this week itself, Apple just crossed $3 trillion market cap. And there are only like 4 companies that broke the $1 trillion market cap range, and not even talking about individuals, all right? So here we go. We're Bill Miller. And the really loud statement is 50% of his net worth goes into Bitcoin. Now, I'm pleased to share with all of you, Bill Miller is also in our radar here at Spiking. We do a lot of work tracking the biggest insiders out there. And on his portfolio alone, you can see right here, this is like crazy, crazy, crazy. $2.8 billion worth of stocks in Wall Street. Now, this is really important because why? We begin to understand the strategies that he deployed. In our data point, we can even see, he's really, really positive on energy stocks, Diamondback Energy. He also have a position in Amazon since the very, very beginning. I mean, it's like huge, huge. And then you have stocks in the mama stocks, Alphabet, Meta, and so on, right? So these are how he deployed his trading strategies. Now we have a data point on him. Then we put a picture to the name. This is how Bill Miller looks like. All right. You will oftentimes, like once every 2 or 3 months, you got to see him on CNBC Live. All right. And that's the reason why you need to recognize him. Now we're going to come back to the original question that Richard asked me, and that is this: 50%. And what's going on? Here we go. All right. So I'm going to scroll down right here and check this out. So he started off Bitcoin really at the beginning of his journey in 2014. And everybody's starting date is different. Back then, he started off by buying around $200 per coin. Oh my gosh. And then became $500 per coin. And he did not buy it for years until Bitcoin plummeted to 30,000. And that was last year, right? Remember, we hit a 64,000 high, dropped to the low of 30,000. And then quite a number of our students bought it at 28,888, all right? And of course, hitting around 66,000 in April 2021. So he started buying again at 30,000, down from 66,000. And since then, as he allocated more, all of us will go through this very, very interesting journey, kind of difficult to articulate in words, but it's a journey whereby as you get more involved in this very interesting asset class, different ideas start to formulate. And one of the ideas that formulated by Bill Miller is that Bitcoin acts as an insurance policy against a financial catastrophe, as well as a powerful investment tool that's outstripping gold. 2 ideas for you: insurance or gold as a hedge. And the third idea is that, hey, how come nobody keep punching on this idea that Bitcoin, there's only 21 million fixed supply? I mean, maybe it's been said enough by all of us here, but for the new players, you have not thought about this really, really long. You have not sit on it, ponder on this, and then wake up with the idea of it, that the fixed supply asset class is very rare today. Very, very rare. And that's why paintings can go by the millions in the auction houses. Diamonds can go by the millions in auction houses because it's a very, very rare find. So when you have this journey, if you go through this journey exactly like Bill Miller, then he's able to articulate this really classic statement. All right, here we go. I think the average investor should ask himself or herself, what do you have in your portfolio that has that kind of track record? Number one, it is very, very under-penetrated. Number two, can provide a service of insurance against financial catastrophe that no one else can provide. And number 3, can go up 10 times or 50 times. The answer is nothing. Nothing in your portfolio you can find this except in the world of Bitcoin. So with that, he kind of gone through his own journey, celebrated his 40th year as a hedge fund manager. I mean, I just started my first year as my hedge fund manager. So much things to learn from all these really titans, the billionaires, the sovereign wealth funds out there. And I always put myself through their lenses. And that's why Richard asked me a very, very important question. The question is this: is it worthwhile for us to follow these guys? Absolutely. They will bring you to a level of thinking that you never thought of before in your small little world, because they see much bigger stuff than all of us. So as you bring yourself to the level of their thinking or their lenses that they look at the world, holy moly, you realize, oh my gosh, wake up. We are still too naive, still too myopic in our view of the world. And that's why I think this is a classic. You can hear many, many classic stories from Michael Saylor, which is from MicroStrategy. And right now we have Bill Miller. And you also can hear stories from Paul Tudor Jones. He was on CNBC last night. And all these legends, why one by one, they jump on the bandwagon to get on board Bitcoin. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, today Bitcoin is at 42,000. Now, if today Bitcoin was at 100,000 right now, people will be asking for another chance to buy Bitcoin under 50,000. Yeah. Right now, Bitcoin is under 50,000 and they don't want it. The question to you is, with the current situation, what do you say to all these investors?
and I think, Richard, we got a picture that paints 1,000 words. I think this picture is so powerful to describe exactly what you just asked me. And here we go. When Bitcoin was at $69,000, everybody was scrambling to buy more. But right now, Bitcoin is at 42,000, eh? How come we only have one guy right here, and this guy is called Thomas Anton Williams?
Yeah.
And he went in to buy 42,500. Why there's only one guy here? Why at 69,000 people were queuing? Because this is the thinking of the ordinary man. Now, I want to also show all of you a tweet by the Elias into the block, right? Now, what they basically detect is that wheels accumulate. I mean, I think this is so fascinating. So let me box this out here, wheels accumulate. And what the theory goes is this: as Bitcoin dropped below 50,000, as Bitcoin dropped below $50,000, addresses with over 1,000 Bitcoin proceeded to increase their holdings. So anyone with Bitcoin more than 1,000 quantity pieces of the coin, you are defined as a whale, all right? 1,000 is the benchmark. But as the price dropped, wouldn't those who hold more than 1,000 Bitcoin start to liquidate and convert to fiat? But this is happening on the reverse side of things. Instead, they went on to increase their holdings, because whales, just like Bill Miller, just like Paul Tudor Jones, just like Michael Saylor, they see the world in a very different lens. So from here, I kind of really like to play with this chart, all right? Now, the black color line shows the price of Bitcoin, all right? Black color line. Now, what we want to track is the blue line. And we really want to track the point of crossover, right? So let me highlight the point of crossover. This is the point of crossover, right? At that period, back then, price of Bitcoin went up, and all these big fat whales start to liquidate. They were selling off, right? It went down, right? So that was the first time. Then I go on to the second time, the crossover right here, okay? As the price of Bitcoin dropped, at this point, they start to accumulate. So you see a green arrow right there, all right? Then we go on to the third one, the intersection. Right over here, Can you see this is very interesting? As the price of Bitcoin shot up, right? They start to liquidate, they start to sell, all right? So there were two instances where they were selling. And I may point out the arrow right here. These are the two instances. And then right now, we are facing the latest instance. And what is that? Price of Bitcoin drop down, they start to accumulate even more Bitcoin. So you see another green arrow right there. Now, what is the takeaway from this? Is that, number one, the whales are very sensitive to market changes. And they are always a few steps ahead. That's why they are whales. That's why some people are billionaires, some people are millionaires, some people forever is a pauper. All right, because they are a few steps ahead. Number two, how is that relevant to the current situation in the market? Looks like all the doomsday were out there blood on the streets saying that that's the end of Bitcoin, right? But the current data shows that the whales are accumulating more Bitcoin such that it's floating above 40,000. I spent so much time teaching you guys about the price point of 40,000. It is an untouchable price. And that might lead to the point number three. What did they see that you didn't see? What did they see that you didn't see, or I didn't see, or all of us didn't see? But I saw something. I reiterate, 1464. Don't know what is that? Go and watch our previous video. I think we must always put inside a clear path, upcoming events that's going to happen, that's going to kind of be a mitigating point for price fluctuation. And this is what I'm looking at. If I correlate what I'm looking at versus this whales data that I just shown you guys, there is a match. There's a match of the thinking. Yes, I think I'm on the right track. Together with all these whales, we are a few steps ahead. We are looking at upcoming triggers that potentially will cause the price movement to 100,000. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, we work hard to give you the latest, best research and facts and data from the market and present to you. With the facts and data, you make an informed decision on your financial future. Secret to success is to wake up early, work hard, and own Bitcoin. So all the best to you. Thank you very much. Until we meet again on Friday. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.
We believe that investing in our education
has the highest leverage and is the greatest equalizer.
Regardless of background, everyone can have the same opportunities in education.
We believe in doing what is right, not what is easy.
We believe in anything that is worth doing, we do it with passion and excellence.
We believe that happiness is the key to success.
If you love what you're doing, you're already successful. And that both success and failure are temporary, worth sharing about and even celebrating.
That said, we believe we have had our fair share of both. Yay!
We believe that when the market is tough, we can be tougher.
We believe the best product should win, not the best sales pitch.
We believe that winners are winners because they don't quit.
We believe that the biggest sin is to make learning boring.
We believe in making decisions and owning our results.
We believe in innovation to continually provide value to all around us.
We believe that together, everyone achieves more.
We believe that real leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders.
We believe that we can learn from our competitors.
We believe that women work harder, do better, and are more committed.
We believe it's okay to be proven wrong.
It's okay to change your mind.
And it's okay to cry when you're having a really rough day.
We believe in giving everyone the benefit of the doubt.
We believe in always saying please and thank you.
We believe that if dreaming is free, then we should dream big.
And then working hard to achieve it.
We believe that if we have knowledge, it's our duty to pass it down.
We believe that we shouldn't teach something we ourselves don't believe in.
We believe it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
We believe in saying sorry and meaning what we say.
We believe in being high-tech, means adding a human touch.
We believe that no one has all the answers.
not even us.
But we go find out and we learn.
We believe that learning never ends, and once you stop learning,
You start dying.
We believe that one person
Or one great idea
can change the world.
That's why we believe in helping you grow and succeed.
And with your help, we can change lives globally.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
Thank you for your belief in us.